Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to start Unit 11. We are going to have a quick revision on it. Of course, we have some exercises. The first part, it will be on the vocabulary, and the second one, it will be on the grammar. Let us look at number 1. Choose the correct answer. Number 1, did you know that there are 18 gaps, bits, holes, circles on a golf course? Of course, we are talking about golf. So the best one that we're going to choose, it will be holes. This is the first one. Look at number 2. He is fit because he swims 100 laps, lanes, lines, legs in the pool a day. In the pool we have what? We have legs, lines, lanes or laps. We have laps from one end to the other. This is called a lap. If we look at number 3, successful bands with lots of fans hold their concerts at large setting, sites, zones, venues, such as sports stadiums. Which one is it possible here? We are going to choose zones. When we are talking about concerts, it's zones. At number 4, Sergei Popka still keeps, holds, owns, belongs the world record for the men's pole vault, which he set in 1994. The best answer for it, it will be holds, right? For this Sergei Popka. Look at number 5. The interview with Lionel Messi was contacted, consulted, contested, conducted on the field after the match had ended. Of course, all of us, we know Messi. And here, the best one, it will be conducted. Conducted here means to be led by someone, right? If we look at number 6, Arsenal, of course, we know that this is a team, right? A football team. Arsenal came up, went up, got off, took off to a good start with a goal in the first minute of the match. If we look at this one, came up, went up, got off, or took off, we are going to use or to choose got off, which means to start. So Arsenal got off to a good start, the beginning of the match, with a goal in the first minute of the match, like Mohamed Salah in the last match. Look at the next one. Number 7. When the fans in the stadium cheer and chant, started to sing and so on, it really makes, causes, takes, brings a game to life. What do I mean? For example, we have a match like Mohamed Salah, and then all of the sudden he got a score or something like this. So this brings the game to life. What do I mean? It makes it appealing, more exciting and interesting. At number 8, the football commentator, broadcaster, presenter, reporter had such a strong Scottish accent. His accent was Scottish that I couldn't understand the word he was saying. Here, the commentator like what? Like Midhat Shalabi. If you know him, he is one of the best commentators in Egypt, and he is the one who used to comment on any match. His name is, or his title is a commentator, like Midhat Shalabi. At number 9, only major networks can afford to report, provide, reach, cover major sports events like the Olympic Games. Of course, the best answer will be cover. Look at number 10. Our team thrashed, dashed, crashed, mashed the opposition 100-42 and won the basketball championship. What is the best answer here? It's thrashed. What do you mean by thrash? To take it, to win, or to beat the other one, right? It can be by force, it can be by skill. So here, our team thrashed the opposition and won the basketball championship. Look at number 11. In women's tennis, a match, nets, sets, bets, jets consists of a maximum of 3. Of course, I'm talking here about tennis, and in tennis we use the term set. This is the terminology which we use with the sport tennis, right? And consists of a maximum of 3. If we look at 12, the cyclist was found guilty of using performance-enhancing substance and was hindered, banned, prevented, obstructed from the sport for 2 years. What do you mean here? Cyclist, he was guilty. They found him guilty. Why? According to his guilt, he was banned. What do you mean by banned? Not allowed, prohibited, forbidden to practice the sport for 2 years. Here, the best one is banned. It means it's by law. He was forced not to do his sport for 2 years. That's why he is banned. Look at 13. I'm lucky to have Sam in my side hand, pocket, corner. He always supports me and advises me well. Here, if we look at the 4, we are going to ask ourselves, Sam to be in my side, to be in my hand, to be in my pocket, or to be in my corner. Corner here, I'm lucky to have Sam in my corner. Corner here, it is like my side. But here, corner, it is one of the idioms or expressions in your book, in Unit 11. So, I'm lucky to have Sam in my corner. He assists me, he supports me. He always supports me and advises me well. So, the idiom or the expression that is going to be used here is to have him, whoever, in my corner. To have someone in your corner, it means to be your supporter. Right? Look at 14. I've told her she can be champion if she trains hard. So the ball is in her club, court, pitch, field. Look, here I have the 4 words. We know very well that pitch, it's used for football pitch, right? Or field, it's like any, this is a general term, any field in the word. If we look at these 2 words, we are going to find that the best one is court. What do you mean to have the ball in your court? This is again one of the idioms or one of the expressions which is used. It means that now the solution is in your hand and the ball is in your court. You are the one who are going to decide what are you going to do. So here, one of the expressions, it is to have the ball in your court, right? Look at 15. The tennis player had to pull out of, to catch up with, to knock out, to drop back to the tournament due to a case of food poisoning. Here, again, we are going to look at this. All of them are phrasal verbs. But we will find that the most suitable one is to pull out of. What do you mean by to pull out of? Pull out of means to withdraw or to leave. To leave, but not by own choice, not by your own choice. You are going to do this because according to a case of food poisoning. He was poisoned, something like this, and as a result of this, he has to pull out of the match or the tournament because of this food poisoning. Okay? Of course, all these terminology or all these vocabulary words due to sports, we are talking because our lesson today is about sports. So if you concentrated on this, you will find that most or all the vocabulary concerning or talks about this part, which is sports. Right? Okay. Now, I have 16. Nobody expected Jimmy to compete, conquer, challenge, contend the club's best chess player, but he did and beat him. Here I have the 4 verbs, right? The most important one or the most appropriate one for this sentence is to challenge. Challenge here to show your abilities and skills. He was so skillful, and to the extent that he challenged the best player of the club in chess and he beat him. You understood this? So here, the word challenge, it means that he, according to his skills, he challenged him and as a result, he beats him too. Right? 17. Just as the golfer is the one who plays golf, of course. Just as the golfer was about to swing his paddle, club, bat, racket, a spectator coughed loudly and put him off. Here, we are talking about golf, right? And then, if we look at the 4 words, we are going to find out the best one is club. What do you mean by this? I have here paddle. It's used when we are doing what? When we are in a boat, when we are rowing a boat. So we use paddle. Club, this is the tool which we use for the golf. It's called golf club, right? Racket, it's used for tennis, so the best answer is club, which is used in the sport of golf. When we are playing golf, we use the club. Club here, it's not a social place for gathering. It has another meaning, which is the tool which we use in playing golf. In 18, don't give Jeremy any important duties. He is irresponsible. He is not responsible, he is irresponsible. Look at this. Prefix irresponsible, and will kick, drop, pass, throw the ball. Again, here, this is one of the idioms or the expressions in your book, and the most appropriate answer or the most suitable answer is drop. What do you mean to drop the ball? Drop the ball, it means that the one, he mishandles things. He is irresponsible. You can't rely on him. So when you don't rely on someone, the expression that can be used with this one is to drop the ball. It means that he is not reliable enough to rely on or to depend on. Right? 19, to avoid muscle injury. For example, when we are practicing any sport, of course we have to start our game by using some fitness to be fit. So what are we doing? To avoid muscle injury, you should beat up, bring up, take up, warm up before doing any physical activity. Of course, when we are starting any sport, we have to do what? By logic, we have to warm up. What do I mean by this? To be ready. 2 or 3 minutes, half an hour, in order to be informed, and then to start our sport. To avoid muscle injury, right? You should warm up before doing any physical activity. 20, I had a strange dream in which I leapt, dashed, bolted, sprint up high into the air and began to fly. Here, if we look at the 4 choices, we are going to find out what? I want you to take care of leapt and sprint. Both of them, they are the same but have slight differences. Leapt here, it means what? It means that you started to do this by force. You jumped a long distance and you take something by force in a violent way. Sprint here, you walked or you ran or you jumped, but a short distance. So the difference between the two, leapt and sprint, leapt to do this long distance with force, you exerted an effort. In sprint, a short distance, right? And if we look at this, the base form or the present of it, it's leapt, leap, leapt, leapt. Here, it is one of the regular verbs, so it is a sprint, sprint, sprint. So here, leapt, it is the past of leap, right? This is the end of our vocabulary section. Now, we are going to move on to the grammar. Our grammar mainly today is about the report speech, and I think this is not the first time to be taken. You handled this before. But again, we are doing this in a form of choice. Right? This is the most important nowadays, the most important exercise nowadays, the MCQs. So that's why we concentrate on having the exercise in this shape, to be like that. All of them to be in the form of a multiple choice. Right? Again, choose the correct answers, but all the questions will be about grammar. This is the section of the grammar. Right? Look at number 1. I told him, okay, this is reported. I told him not to not, don't, to don't. Of course, I know very well that by sense you are going to get it, but try to concentrate a bit. I told him not to grip the tennis racket so tightly. I am telling him something, right? So here it will be not to grip the tennis racket so tightly. Look at number 2. He assured to me he didn't play. This is 1. Assured he didn't play. Assured me he hadn't played. Assured me not to play cricket before. Look at this, before. So this means that we are in the past, right? He assured to me, we don't say it like this. He assured to me, it's not like that, because we don't put to. He assured to me he didn't play, no, nonsense. Assured he didn't play, assured me he hadn't played, assured me not to play. The suitable answer or the best answer is this. Why? Because here I have, this is one of the reporting verbs, assured me, and then we are following the technique. What is the technique of the reported? is to put the subject and after the subject to put the verb. So here, and of course it's in the past perfect. So here, he assured me he hadn't played. This is the most appropriate or suitable answer. If we look at number 3, Tom told me to, of course we don't say told me to, never ever. Told me to, told to me, told or told me, of course it's told, instead to change it into told. So Tom told me he wanted to be a champion swimmer. Number 4, she wondered whether I help her, if I helped her, if I would help her, would I help her to improve her game? Of course it will be here if I would, and again the same technique, we put the subject and then after the subject we put the verb, whatever the verb is. Number 6, the goalkeeper was terrible and he was very horrible and terrible. So he blamed, complained, warned, accused him for us losing the game. He was terrible, and of course when you find someone making a mistake, you blame him, right? So, and blame, this is the most suitable answer. Not complain, we're not warned, we're not accused, because accused of, right? So blamed him for, to blame someone for, okay? Number 6, Bob has found Gina's goggles, something like glasses of course. He wants to know where she lives. That's it. Where she lived, where she had lived, where does she live? Of course, because this is again reported, we don't put auxiliaries. So he wants here, because it's in the present tense form, so we complete the technique or the sequence. He wants to know where she lives. That's it. 7, he said he had broken the record the previous year, the year ago, the before year, the year previous. Of course, if you listen to it, you will find that the most suitable one is the previous year. 8, Tim agreed, persuaded, refused, advised that he would help me with my training if I needed it. I left this for you, and you are the ones who are going to answer it, right? Tim what? Look to the sentence. Tim agreed, persuaded, refused, advised that he would help me with my training if I needed it. I need someone, so he offered his help. So it means what? The best one or the most suitable one, it will be what? Agreed. Agreed to do something. Agreed to help me. So Tim agreed that he would help me with my training if I needed it. Number 9. She said, Grandma was playing golf. The moment, that moment, at this moment, at that moment. Again, because it's reported, the best or the most suitable one, it will be at that moment. I will use at this moment if it is direct speech, face to face, at this moment, for example. But because here, this is a reported speech, so I will say, she said, Grandma was playing golf. At that moment, it means in the past. Finally, to finalize or to end our lesson, by number 10, he was curious to know how many medals I had won. This is the best answer. Again, the same technique. I have the subject and then the verb, whatever the verb is. I had won, have I won, had I won, did I win? That's it. And this is the end of our session. Right? Thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.